as Americans, we're some of the only people who feel like our lineage does not directly tie back to us and connect to us. Because if you are white American, which really you're just European, you're a descendant of one of those countries in Europe. If that's who you are benefiting from the way that European slave traders and slave owners established this country. It's written in the foundation of this nation. So there's no way you can escape your benefits. Because you look the way you look, you get special treatment. There are things that you couldn't get rid of that if you wanted to. The only way to get rid of that is to leave this country. And if you do that, then you really won't be a part of the racism. You have to leave. Then you won't be at all guilty, because by not leaving, you're furthering it, because you're still here. And it's the foundation, because in order for the foundation to be reset, Europeans have to leave. That is what America doesn't want to talk about, because they're not going anywhere. And that is something that's almost like, that's such a monumental thing, but that's how you reverse the mistake. That's part of how you do it. The second part is that, karma's gonna come back anyway. So that's part A. Part B is leaving. And then we won't have this problem anymore. We won't have, and of course, there's gonna be, colorism between people of color, but that was established by people who didn't have melanin in their skin. And they said, well, if you don't have melanin, if you look like me, you're better because you look like me. So a lot of us have been infected by that too. But it's something that really, do you see how there's only, only one group of people is the problem here. The people who came over here and the people who started this colorism and this racism. They will always be the problem. There's no easy way to say that. I wish there was, but there's no easy way to say that. That's why if you think this country is ever going to get off of its feet and things are going to get better, think again. Because there's a group of people who karma has to come to, judgment has to come to. If you live here, you're going to fall under that. That's why people of color are falling under, bad education, bad food, bad medicine, because, there's a group of people over here who need to be judged. So if you live over here, you're going to fall under the effects of that. And it's really sad. It really is, but there's no easy way to say it, and that's the absolute truth. And they didn't say anything about this to us when we were in school. That's how you know. That's how you know it was established, so that we would remain ignorant. So the social construct would be the way it is today. These people need to be over here. These people get these opportunities and these people don't. And then so that we would never know why. Because that's why that's another thing. That's why a lot of us are kind of, I don't know, what do I want to say? Like we're hermits now. Because people are tired of lies, and they're tired of people lying to them. People are tired of their managers lying to them, because again, all of this comes from a certain construct where if you can't establish a country on principle and morality and truth, that country is not going to prosper. And this is why things are getting worse and worse and worse in this country. Because there's homework that needs to be done here. And I was just saying here now that a lot of us are just kind of receding back into our shells, because we're sick of the lies. We really are. But then when somebody tells us the truth about something, like what I'm doing here, we don't want to hear it. And we fight against it, and we deflect. Either that, or we just we stay silent. You got to share it too. It's not just hearing something that somebody says that's true, it's sharing it. That's your homework, is to share it. So eventually everybody can be in the know, and then people will be held accountable and responsible. We always want to talk about accountability and, doing what's right and this and that, but nobody ever really wants to do it, because it is hard work. It really is. And I don't know, I just so happen to come from people who we tell it straight. And there's a lot of people who do that, but it's difficult. It's really difficult to look at something like that. Like the stuff I've just said here, that's hard. These people, what do you mean we need to go back to Europe if we don't want racism to continue? We just did the math on it. We just did the math. What else are you gonna do? Because if you benefit from it, because it's like I said, it's in the foundation of the country, so you're always gonna benefit from it. So by benefiting and staying here, you are continuing the cycle. You have to leave. See, that's the real truth. That is the absolute truth right there, what I just said. And people are not gonna do that. So until then, we're gonna still have these problems here.